Hello and welcome to Football Manager 2020. The beta has finally been released and it is time to dive in to our first proper save in this game with AFC Bournemouth. Now, I have not played a huge amount of this game, and by not played a huge amount, I've played like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So I don't really know a lot of all the new features, things like that. So this is going to be a bit of an experience. In case you're interested, this is going to be our build for our character. So we're going to be a motivator, we are going to be Continental Pro license and be a professional footballer at a national level. And so basically, most of our stats are they're evenly distributed. 19 though are motivating, that's what we're good at. AFC Bournemouth hire Pearce then. Bournemouth have today confirmed the appointment of Stuart Pearce as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of the 33-year-old, who has recently spent time away from club football and is sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at Dean Court. Or when I wheel out my assistant manager, because I hate doing press conferences. We do get a bit of background about the club as well. Jeff Mostyn is the chairman. He's been the chairman for a very long time, but there is also some Russian money, I believe, behind the club. I don't know how much Russian money there is, but Jeff Mostyn is the current chairman. Dean Court, obviously the smallest ground in the Premier League at 11,464 capacity. We train at Kings Park. I know in real life Bournemouth are looking to build a new training facility. I don't believe that is actually taken place in the game. I'm not quite sure. They might be, but I'm not sure. We do also get this little report as well, our best 11. So they reckon a 4-4-1-1 is our best 11, which I'm not 100% certain on, because we've got some very good central defenders. We've also got some very good strikers. I'm not quite sure what formation we're going to play yet. Also down the bottom, we've got things like hot prospect, key players, captains, and all sorts of information scrolling through. I like this. It's quite nice. When you join a club, it just gives you a little bit of background, so you don't have to spend half an hour trying to work out who the good players are. Now, one of the biggest bits about the new Football Manager, obviously, is the 5-year plan and the club visions. So the club vision is to play attacking and possession football. It's not required or desired, it's preferred. So they could quite happily say, as long as we're winning games, we can play Allardyce football, sit back and defend, play long ball. However, I'm going to try and play possession and attacking football. I'm not very good at sorting out tactics and whatnot, but I'm going to give it a go. And then the 5-year plan, then we have an ongoing requirement, which is work within the wage budget, which, to be honest, most clubs should be doing that. If you're not doing it, you're probably Manchester City or PSG. End of the current season, we need to finish mid-table in the Premier League. FA Cup 5th round, Carabao Cup 4th round. I mean, mid-table Premier League is the goal. Then it is desired for the FA Cup 5th round, and then preferred for the Carabao Cup 4th round, so they're not too fussed. Then going on from that, it is basically top half, maybe challenge for silverware in the 4th season, which I'm not sure why we don't want to do that in the 5th season, but anyway, yeah, that's, to be honest, by the time we get here, we'll probably be sacked. No, Jeff Mostyn, I do not want to schedule a press conference. So this is your usual Football Manager page. Not a huge amount has obviously changed in terms of inbox. Got a few more options down the side. I say a few more, one really. It's the Dev Center. We will come on to that. I'm not going to go into all the new features and whatnot, because if you want to know the new features, go watch a YouTuber who's good at explaining them, because I'm not good at explaining them. I don't even know what they do at the moment. We do get the opportunity to change the club vision, but because we are literally just joining the club, we're just going to accept it. They're not going to want to change anything for us. I do like this as well. We can change our pre-season, and it kind of affects the things down here. So injury risk, condition, fatigue, sharpness, team cohesion, and happiness. To be honest, I'm willing to just go normal, although we do need to somehow get the sharpness. Because I imagine pre-season, you want your sharpness. So maybe we go heavy, or maybe tactical doesn't really... Technical could work. Let's go tactical, because that's going to do team cohesion and sharpness. It's probably a terrible idea. The first thing that I do whenever I start any Football Manager save is I go through and sort out my staff responsibilities. I'm not a particularly hands-on club manager. I'm a team manager, not so much a club manager. So a lot of things like hiring and firing staff I'm not particularly interested in. One thing I will change is find and sign young players for the future. I will let my head of youth development do this, but I'm going to be the one confirming them. So there you go, finalise players for under 23s and under 18s. That's going to be me. And the same with players who are going to be potentially leaving the youth teams. I want to make sure that it's the right decision. I'm not too fussed about accepting the offers and things, because I'm assuming old Bruce knows what he's talking about, but I just want to make sure that they're not going to sell one of our best youth players for £45. Let's take a look then at the tactics. One new feature that I really do like, whether it'll pay off, I don't know, is this. So I don't know if, yes, Jason Tyndall. So Jason Tyndall, our assistant manager, has recommended that due to the current players that we have, obviously this might change as the game goes on, we might get better players, worse players, so parking the bus might be a better option, but he suggested either playing gegenpress, tiki-taka, or vertical tiki-taka. So I think we'll go with gegenpress. It was good in the last game. I'm assuming it's good in this one. He also gives us a recommended formation, which is a 4-4-2 diamond. Now, I like the idea of it. 2 strikers is good because obviously we do have 3 quite good strikers in Wilson, King and Solanke. We've also got some very good attacking midfielders, players like David Brooks and Harry Wilson. But we have wingers. This doesn't count for wingers. We'll go with it for now. Just sticking some names into the starting 11. This is kind of what I've come up with as our best 11. It's not bad. We've got some good central defender options. We've got Ake, we've got Cook. We've also got Mepham. We've got Francis. He's getting on a bit, but he's not terrible. Left back and right back maybe could do with improvement. Adam Smith is okay, 3-star. Charlie Daniels isn't great. Diego Rico is also 3.5 stars. So is Lloyd Kelly. So maybe a first choice left back is what's needed. Midfield, we've gone for Jefferson, Lerma, Philip Billing, Lewis Cook and David Brooks. Lewis Cook, he's really good. I'm assuming he's still going to have loads of potential in this game, but he's also constantly injured. He's got cruciate ligament injuries, basically. I don't know. Yeah, that's what he's currently got. And that is an injury that could potentially reoccur a fair few amount of times. Then going further forward, obviously David Brooks, Callum Wilson, Dominic Solanke. We've also got Josh King as well. So I think attacking-wise, we're quite good because we can also drop in Harry Wilson. He's not the best there. Maybe he's more suited to be a central midfielder, Mazzala, apparently, or a striker. A striker is equally as good. Also, I completely ignore the goalkeepers. Aaron Ramsdale is our best goalkeeper, joint with Artur Buric. Ignore the weird colour, it's a little bit broken. He's our best goalkeeper. He's only 21, he is actually quite good, got a load of potential. However, he's only 2.5 star. It might be that we look at a new goalkeeper. Maybe we kind of wait and see, and maybe give him until January, see if he's okay for the first half of the season. If we quickly jump into the development centre, we're not going to go too deep into this. You can see we do have a lot of players. I say a lot, 5 players who are ones to watch. Sam Surridge currently out on loan at, I think, Derby? Is it Derby? Swansea? He is apparently very good. Scoring a few goals in real life as well, I think. Jack Wadham, who I don't think is amazing. He's alright, okay, I think. Will Dennis is an 18-year-old English goalkeeper who's got 2.5 star potential ability, which isn't great. But he's still only 18. He is actually wanted by Leyton Orient, so maybe he might go out on loan, get some first-team football. Mikael Njoli, who's currently out on loan at Gillingham, I think he's quite good. I don't know, we obviously don't know what his potential is because he's currently out on loan, but he's got some good numbers there. And another good young goalkeeper in Mark Travers, 20 years old, Irish. I think he's technically been in the Ireland squad. I don't think he's got any caps, but he's been in the Ireland squad. 2-star current ability, 3.5 star potential. Probably will do better than that. The whole development centre side of things will become a little bit more useful as the season and save goes on, but right now it doesn't really give us a huge amount of information. You can see I do quite like this. This is just a big old summary of all the players in our under-23s. Sean Cooper is our under-23s manager. He's just going to keep an eye on them for me. And then the same with the under-18s managed by Alan Connell. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to go all the way forward to the first game of the season, which is Sheffield United. So, what's going to happen in between now and then? I'm going to go through the whole transfer window. I'm going to go through the whole of pre-season. When we return, I'll give you a summary of what happens in pre-season, transfers that have taken place, any other interesting news that has happened as well, because there's probably going to be some. I'm expecting Lewis Cook to do his cruciate ligaments in again. So yeah, I'm going to give you a quick roundup, and then we will jump straight into the first match of the season, because I don't want to have to wait for about 4 episodes before we actually get to doing something proper. We are back. We are one day before the Sheffield United match, the opening game of the season on the 10th of August. We have done a fair amount of transfer business. We've sold some players. There's a little couple of bits of spoiler information going on here. We've also bought, I think, 4 players into the team. So let's have a look at the players that have left the club first. The only player to leave the club on a permanent deal is Jordan Ibe, signing for Sheffield United for £12 million. We were never going to play him. He's a winger. We don't play wingers. Let's face it, Bournemouth fans, and I guess Liverpool fans, he's not as good as you thought he was. A number of players also leaving the club on loan deals. Andrew Sermon has gone on loan to Swansea. Matt Butcher has gone on loan to Grimsby. Keenan O'Connell off to Northampton. Simon Francis to Birmingham. Junior Stanislas has gone to Fulham. And Corey Jordan has signed for Bristol Rovers on loan. Joining the club then, first up is right back Kevin Malsuit, maybe? He's probably just going to be called Kevin, from Napoli. He is a right-sided wing-back by trade. He has come in for about 10 million, just over 10 million pounds. Napoli literally just signed him. He's a bit of a journeyman all of a sudden for some reason. 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. He is 28 years old, so he's not going to get much better anytime soon. But I think in terms of quality, he's definitely something that we needed, a decent right-sided fullback. We also needed a decent left-sided fullback, and we found one in Mitchell Dix, or Dykes. I'm going to call him Mitchell Dix because I think it's probably better. Joining from Bologna, he's one of those players, once again, he's probably just jumped ship. They've made a huge profit on him. He signed for Bologna on a free transfer, and then we signed him for £11.5 million. The former Ajax youngster has got 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential, 26 years old. He's 6'4". He's a big lad. He's a big, fast, strong lad. Next up through the door is Ivorian central midfielder Seko Fofana, signing from Udinese. He's cost us, I think it's about £10 million, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, the former Manchester City youngster. Apparently, I don't ever remember him playing for Man City, but I think that might mean he's, I was going to say he's not far away from becoming English, but apparently, when he was playing for Man City, he wasn't living in England. 3-star current ability for Seko, 3.5 star potential. He has already, in pre-season, scored 6 goals in 7 games. He's done really, really well. He's got shoots from distance as well, so maybe we're going to see some screamers from Seko Fofana. And finally, joining the club from Stoke is Jack Butland. Everybody knows Jack Butland. He's coming in for £15 million, 3.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential. You can't see his shape there. I assure you, it is kind of just outside of this light green one here, light greeny yellow one. Yep, obviously he's Jack Butland. We know about Jack Butland. I don't know why he's still at Stoke in real life. I don't know why they haven't sold him. Stoke aren't doing so well in real life either. It's the perfect opportunity for him to have left during the summer. Apparently, he doesn't want to. So that is all of our transfer business. Apparently, £92 million we've spent. Quite a lot of it was actually us. A lot of these deals, by the way, were a little bit of money up front, the rest of it over the next 3 years. So, our transfer budget for season 2, 3, 4, however many seasons we're going to do with this save, won't be as high as perhaps the first season. Pre-season friendlies then, we have done very well, but then again, when you see the teams that we've been playing, I wouldn't be surprised. I actually took charge of the Strasbourg and the Kelty Hearts game. Strasbourg was a 1-1, Callum Wilson with a goal. Kelty Hearts, I played a full-strength side for the first half. We battered them 8-0. The only slight blemish on our pre-season friendlies was obviously this match against Inter Milan. A 1-0 defeat, but it's Inter Milan. Callum Wilson also missing a penalty. One thing to take a look at as well, because of our transfer activity, we can see how well the board has rated us. It's not the best. So the board reckon that our transfer activity is a C, which isn't great. The fans have said it's a C+. Mostly, it's to do with our players out. So they're happy with Simon Francis, Jordan Ibe and Andrew Sermon going out on loan, giving us B-. Everyone else, Butland, Dix, Fofana and Malsuit, Kevin, they're just C's, aren't they? Whereas the fans, they all B-. They actually quite like the look of all 4 of those players. Players going out on loan not happy, particularly Jordan Ibe. I don't understand that one. Match number 1 of the season then, up against Sheffield United. It should be a 3-pointer for us, shouldn't it? It should be 3 points in the bag at home against a newly promoted side. However, as we know how this works in real life, that's not always the case, and as you can tell from the league table, Crystal Palace are currently sat top of it because they beat Manchester City 3-1 in the opening match of the season. The starting lineup we're going to go for then is going to be the 4-4-2 Diamond Gegenpress. It seemed to work okay in pre-season. It might not be the best formation to play, but we're going to go for it. It's Sheffield United. What's the worst that could happen? In goal is going to be Jack Butland. The back four will be Kevin as the right back, Steve Cook and Nathan Ake in the middle. Mitchell Dix will be the left back. Fofana will be playing as that defence midfielder with Lewis Cook and Jefferson Lerma just in front of him. Lewis Cook hasn't died, which is brilliant. David Brooks will be the advanced playmaker behind the partnership of Josh King and Callum Wilson as our strikers. Our bench as well also is pretty strong. Aaron Ramsdale is our sub-goalkeeper on there. We have Adam Smith, Ryan Fraser, Dominic Solanke, Chris Mepham, Dan Gosling and Philip Billing. So interestingly, Sheffield United do play their 5 at the back with their, overlapping central defenders? Is that a thing that they do? This guy, Jack O'Connell, I was looking at signing him and then realised I didn't need a central defender. I think he's not a bad player. English as well. He's probably, if you're one of those players, and Brexit obviously might come into effect in this, he could be a good little player to buy for a couple of years if you're one of the sort of mid-table sides. So this does not look anything like Dean Court, which is no surprise. We've got a very early highlight actually, 1 minute on the clock. Cook's corner comes in, Wilson's header is wide of the post. Early start for us. Goal kick for Sheffield United after 13 minutes. Henderson's long kick doesn't make it over the halfway line. Wilson gets the ball forward, lumps it towards King. King's one-on-one with the keeper. It's a save from Henderson. We're going to get a corner. Brooks' corner comes in towards the front post. Ake was there, doesn't quite get it. King gets it now. Back to David Brooks. Where's he going to go? He's lost the ball. No, he hasn't. Steve Cook has it now. Back to Brooks. Back to Steve Cook, the central defender. Finds Fofana on that left-hand side. That's a strange place for our defence midfielder to be. Ake gets the ball, but the highlight just randomly stops. Well, 25 minutes in, we are all over Sheffield United. 10 shots, 72% possession. Nothing to show for it at the moment. 5 minutes to play of the first half. We are still all over them. Still absolutely all over them. But nothing at all. Half-time it is 0-0. 16 shots, 7 on target, 68% possession. Nothing. 0-0. Jason Tyndall says it was disappointing. I'm just going to let Jason Tyndall tell him it was disappointing. Is there anything we should do from the analysis? Is that we are clearly all in their half for the majority of the time. Definitely in their half. So just looking at the analysis, there's lots of red circles for bad passes. I can't get rid of them. Don't know why. Just cannot get rid of them. Shots-wise, some reason Josh King had a shot from there, which is a bit ridiculous. Loads and loads of shots just outside the 6-yard box. Most of them missing. I'm going to put shoot on sight. I don't know, I'd rather us take some shots from outside the area rather than getting in the middle and then just completely ballsing it up. Match 1, we're already doing tactical changes. We're probably going to lose 1-0. Throw in for Sheffield United. McGoldrick gets the ball. No, he doesn't. Brooks has managed to clear it to find Callum Wilson. He's going to run forward into the area. Keeps going. It's a save from Henderson. Wilson keeps it in play. Plays it across. It's now Jefferson Lerma. His effort is just wide of the post. It is still 0-0. Looks like we have a free kick and it's going to be David Brooks stepping up to take it. It's towards the back post. Jagielka heads across to Jefferson Lerma. That is an absolute gift from the veteran central defender. 56 minutes on the clock. Jefferson Lerma has scored our first ever goal in Football Manager 2020 in a competitive match, and we are 1-0 up against Sheffield United. Freeman with a free kick for Sheffield United. It's gone all the way to the back post, and Jack Butland has had his first bit of business to do and manages to save it well. Wins a corner though for Sheffield United. Freeman steps up to take it. It's gone deep. It's gone all the way through it to goal kick. Throw in this time for Mitchell Dix on the left-hand side, straight to Freeman. And now Freeman can play the ball forward. Can't find Billy Sharp. Cook gets the ball and plays it all the way back to Jack Butland. Brighton 5-1 up against Aston Villa. Steve Cook forward finds Kevin on that right-hand side on the halfway line. Nutmegs himself. Brooks plays it across. Finds Mitchell Dix, the Dutch forward. Forward? Right back. Kevin on the right-hand side. Josh King. I nearly said Ledley King. It's definitely not Ledley King. It's Josh King scored a screamer. It is 2-0. We are absolutely battering Sheffield United. Is this going to go to VAR? I don't think it's going to go to VAR because there's no reason for it to go to VAR. Well, that second goal has meant we can now kind of take our foot off the gas a little bit. We're going to bring on Solanke for Wilson. Wilson's on a 6.6. He's not doing so well. In terms of stats, we have had 22 shots, I think. Something stupid like that. We are all over them, and I don't understand how it's only 2-0. 27 shots apparently. Before the subs have even happened, we have a highlight. Ake forward to Dix. Plays it across to Lerma, who can play a very long ball forward to Kevin on that right-hand side. He loves to get forward. Crosses it in. Lerma again on the volley, and this time his effort is wide of the post. I'd like to get a third. I think getting a third would be good. We're going to do a sub, and this is going to be more just down to, I was going to say time wasting. It's not so much time wasting, it's more just getting players a little bit more time on the pitch rather than off the pitch. We don't have a left back on the bench, so yeah, Mitchell's staying on instead. Adam Smith's going to come on for Kevin. And we'll also do Fofana off for Philip Billing. We've got 10 minutes to play. It's looking fairly comfortable. I'd like a third. Just give us a third. Brooks with the ball to Smith. Back to David Brooks. In the middle now to Philip Billing. Now Lerma. On the left-hand side is Dix. It's 6-1 to Brighton. What is going on there? Smith gets the ball. Brooks, edge of the area, plays it across. Mitchell Dix on the volley. And Mitchell Dix, the left-back, has made it 3-0. We are cruising this first fixture in the Premier League. I'm not saying that I found a good tactic, but I feel like I found a good tactic. We've had 32 shots, 16 on target, 50%, 34 shots. So 50% of our shots were on target. How we only managed to win 3-0, I have no idea. The ratings of our players, I mean, Kevin getting an 8.6 on his debut and an assist as well. Mitchell Dix getting an 8.3, scoring a goal. David Brooks getting an assist and a 9. Lerma scoring, getting an 8. King scoring, getting a 9. I mean, the only bad performers really was Callum Wilson of all people. And despite the fact that we win 3-0 on the opening fixture of the season, we don't go top of the table. We go second place because Brighton beat Aston Villa 6-1. 6-1. Kevin impressed on his debut, I think. I mean, it's very early days, but I think signing Kevin and Mitchell Dix has been pretty good so far. I'm hoping they're going to be the difference makers because that was clearly two positions that could have done with improvement, and I've definitely improved on what we did have. Look at that. Second place in the table. Yes, I know only 5 matches have been played, but second place in the table. Everything else appears to be either on 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday. So that is the first round of fixtures. We will go forward to the end of the first round of fixtures. Not that it's going to make too much difference because it is week 1 in the Premier League, but just to see where we actually sit after round 1. Just checking what the club vision is. They've given us an A. They've given us an A for that. I feel like it should have been an A star. I guess if we put like 9 or 10 past them, then it maybe would have been an A star. A couple of days have now passed, the first round of fixtures are complete, and we are currently sat 3rd place in the table because Liverpool went and won 5-1, I think it was in the end. Yeah, they beat West Ham 5-1, so we've dropped down to 3rd, but we are one of very few teams to keep a clean sheet. It was ourselves, Manchester United, Leicester, and that was it. So only 3 goalkeepers getting a clean sheet: Kasper Schmeichel, Jack Butland and David De Gea. That is going to do it then for the first episode of Football Manager 2020 with Bournemouth. Next episode, we are probably going to go there. Wolves and West Ham. I'm going to try and pick the matches that we might actually win because I'm going to get angry in the game against Chelsea. I'm going to get angry in the game against Man City. We're probably going to draw a really bad team in the Carabao Cup, and I'm probably going to get angry in that because we're going to lose 1-0. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2020. If you did enjoy, please do remember to leave a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be back next time with more Football Manager.